Abortion. This single 8-letter word is powerful enough to spark controversy and arguments among two main groups of people. These two groups of people that I speak of are pro-life and pro-choice. Pro-life is a group that believes that it is the ultimate protection of the law to protect embryos and fetuses alike, meaning that they do not believe abortion should be done for any reason at all. Pro-choice, on the other hand, believes that it is the mother's decision whether she decides to bear and birth an unborn child or if she decides to terminate a pregnancy early. I myself consider pro-choice. As long as the abortion is done prior to 24 weeks, and the sooner after conception, the better for the abortion to be done. Why, you may ask? Why do I support abortion? It goes back to choice. What is choice? Choice is the ability to have decisions when you are presented with more than one outcome. Article 14, Section 1 of the United States Constitution states that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction therefore are citizens of the United States and of the states wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. A woman's choice is her privilege. Thus, no state shall enforce a law that violates a woman's choice to choose to birth a child or not. There is nothing more precious than a mother's love for her child. Thus, every child born in this world deserves to have the love and affection of a dedicated mother. A child who is unwanted will feel the pain and a detachment and will often develop psychological problems and attachment issues later in life. My refutation for the opposing view of making all abortions illegal is as follows. At the other end of my argument is the pro-life individual who is completely against abortion. They believe it is unacceptable to have an abortion for any reason, and this is their position. However, this position of the issue has many implications, of which some are to follow. A pro-life individual or supporter believes that abortion is the taking of a life of a living human being, and it is usually said that a fetus is considered a human as early as conception. Pro-life supporters often suggest that an unwanted child can be put up for adoption or adopted by a family member or etc. Many of these supporters are firm about the decision of not allowing abortion no matter what the reason. They do not allow exceptions for rape victims at all. They feel that it's just not justifiable to be raped or have any type of incest or anything being justification for an abortion. An article entitled "Persuading People That Rape Does Not Justify Abortion," and a member of the Priests for Life tries to convince readers that a rape victim should be denied the ability and choice to choose abortion because they claim it causes more trauma to the event and adds more trauma to the event. I disagree that abortion is taking a living life. Before 24 weeks, that is. A report from March of 2010 entitled Fetal Awareness, a Review of Research and Recommendations for Practice stated that in reviewing the neuroanatomical and physiological evidence in the fetus, it is apparent that connections from the periphery of the fetal body to the cortex are not intact before 24 weeks of gestation. And as most neurological scientists believe that the cortex is necessary for pain perception, it can be concluded that the fetus cannot experience pain in any sense prior to its gestation. So this pretty much means that scientists, based on medical research, believe that a fetus that is younger than 24 weeks do not experience pain. Once they hit 24 weeks or older, their cortex has been connected and they are able to feel pain and sensations. At this point, I believe that it should be unacceptable to have an abortion because it is believed that the fetus can feel pain at this point. It's also, at 24 weeks, is premature, but with serious medical attention, a unborn fetus can develop and live from 24 weeks onward. So after 24 weeks, it's almost like you are actually taking the life of a being that could live outside of its mother. Anyways, I disagree that it is taking a life also before 24 weeks because I don't consider an unborn fetus before 24 weeks as living on its own. In a novel entitled The Ethics of Abortion, Women's Rights, Human Life, and the Questions of Justice, it compared a zygote to an acorn. It claimed that an acorn cannot be considered a tree, just as a zygote cannot be considered a person. While I do somewhat agree that an unborn child can be put in foster care or raised by a family member, I still firmly believe that an unwanted child should not have to endure living in an alternate home without its mother. I feel that Ruth Kolker, who wrote An Abortion in Dialogue, made a valid observation when she stated, for young women especially, the timing and numerosity of their pregnancies can have a lifetime consequence for both the mother and their offspring. An unwanted child is without its birth mother will usually have to endure several foster homes and have questions such as, why did my mother not want me, or why did my mother not want to raise me? And this is something that no child should have to endure. A child should be birthed to a mother that wants it, not a mother that doesn't want it, that wants to give it up for abortion, in my opinion. I believe that a woman who has been raped should have the choice to keep or to terminate that pregnancy. A woman who has been forcefully stripped of her right to say no to a rapist should not have to be further denied and being told no, that she is not able to terminate her pregnancy. I feel that that should be her choice to decide. A pro-life supporter would choose to force a woman to bear a child even if she didn't want to. A pro-life supporter would subject hundreds of pregnancies to be continued, of unwanted pregnancies to be continued, and to go forward to bear hundreds of unwanted children who will have no choice but to be raised by people who are not their birth mother. My particular pro-choice view maintains my opinion that a child is harmed more by being unwanted by its mother than by the pregnant mother's choice to terminate the pregnancy before it develops to the point of having filling and having the point of being able to sustain life with medical attention after 24 weeks. I strongly believe that it is a woman's constitutional right to choose to carry a child or not. After all, it is her body, and no child should be born into a world unless its mother wants it there and will be able to give it the affection and love that it truly deserves. The sad reality is that whether you are pro-choice or pro-life, someone is always going to disagree with your choices and your actions. If a married couple unexpectedly conceives and they have the ability to emotionally and financially support that child, then by all means they should have that baby. If a young college student conceives out of wedlock and she feels that she is not going to be able to financially care for that child and will have to result in dropping out of college, and she chooses to abort that child or that fetus, I believe that she should have that choice as long as it's below 24 weeks old. While I don't consider a woman choosing abortion as being a light topic, I believe that she should really weigh the odds and choose to decide whether it is good for her life, and if she is able to really understand her choice before she goes through with it. Sometimes I believe pregnant women just need a shoulder to lean on and someone to talk to. Abortion is not an easy choice, so it shouldn't be taken lightly. And I am an optimist, so I believe that a woman who is pregnant will be able to hopefully have the right demeanor to choose and do the right thing that she feels is best for her and the unborn child. I'm pro-choice, and I believe that everyone deserves to have a choice.